Okay, we are live now.
We're live?
Yes, we are
Okay.
live.
Just need a confirmation. Okay.
Hi, everybody, and welcome in this special session. My name is Adrienn Light, and welcome here in my channel, everybody. Today we have a very special session because I have a special guest today, and her name is Malika. But before jumping and introduce you, Malika, I want to say a little word. I want to connect through the heart center with all of you and with Malika also. With Malika, we already did it before, but I want to ask from the audience also that you connect to your heart center and open the space to receive this light coded message, what we will give to you today. We have a lot of helpers today around us. I already feeling them, and I'm just feeling so blessed to can be here and be a voice of this special message today. It's an incredible gift and incredible moment. What is happening now? So I'm feeling so blessed and so grateful for this connection. And also, I want to say thank you for Malika for this service and for holding this frequency and this energy and light what she carries. It's just incredible. So close the eyes a little bit and just expand your heart in there and feel how you receive. If you want, you can continue in this state with eyes closed and just receive the message. I want to share with you the story between me and Malika. Here in this space, Malika connected with me a few months before that she was organizing a summit called Jumping to Bliss Source. Uh, and it was a summit where a lot of speakers united, and we all shared our experience how we connect to source. The summit turned out so good. I really enjoyed all the speakers and the energy and the frequency what was there. It was just so special. So it was just amazing. She told me that she will organizing later more summits and more events. So I will leave her contact here below, and then you can connect with her and stay tuned with the future events. And then after this co-creation, what we did together, I mean, my conference that she held the space for this, I connected with Malika several times through energies and yes, through other realms, and I want to share with you the expression what I get from her and how I feel her. I hope I won't cry. She's how I feel. She's a treasure here in Earth, and me taking her to this channel. This is what I'm feeling to take you a treasure, an untouched treasure. So it's a very pure essence. She's just entering to this field, and what I feel is really pure essence, and yes, just a treasure. and I wanted to take her here and ask her to open herself and share her story and her light with us. And she said yes, so now she's here with us. And yes, I want to give a voice to Malika. Thank you for being here, and please share with the audience a little bit from yourself, what you are doing, and everything what you feel to share.
Yeah, so yesterday night I was talking with my guidance and I said, how should I really introduce myself now? Because I've transformed since the first time we've met in my first summit, which was jumping into source bliss. I've transformed quite a bit. So I don't have any more labels. And you're right, it was the essence that brought me to this work. It's the essence that I work through. It's the essence that I share. That's my gift, and it's gonna keep growing from that. But really, if I had to sum it up in maybe one word or one sentence, my intention, my mission is for source connection, for everyone to feel source deeply within themselves, to get connected, to radiate their essence through source and manifest that into form, into the 3D. So that's a lot, but the basis is pure love for source, love and devotion, and being able to feel an intimate connection with life, with all of creation, with your heart, going deeply into the heart, experiencing source within yourself. And so everything comes from really that mission. Everything that I do is from that mission. But I want to first say thank you so much, Adrienn. I'm so grateful and honored and humbled to be with you today. I remember one of the moments when we were together in the summit, we connected, our hearts connected. And it could be, I think it was in that moment, when we were in the end, we were like and we had connected a little bit also before, but it was a real deep connection. We came together and you felt my essence, and and I felt yours. And it was like the big bang. It was the moment, and I felt intuitively this is going to be a lifelong thing, because I felt so deeply connected. And we're going to do that again today, and we're going to go even deeper. And all the audience today is going to go deeper with us in that connection, that essence. And so that for me was so special. And from that moment, I will never forget what it meant to be connected with you like that, through the heart, through the essence. And and sometimes, I have that connection now. It's getting deeper and deeper, where I am feeling into things more, overall, everything. And I was already feeling before, but now on a much deeper level as I transform and as I go through my own journey. And I'm going to set the intention for everyone to also do that with us today, because it's so beautiful. Like sometimes I just cry because I can feel the purity of source. I can feel the innocence, I don't know how to give words, but you know what I'm saying. It's something so beautiful, and like the word you said, treasure. It's a real treasure. And so for me to be able to feel into that treasure and then do my work and really spread that light through that treasure is such an honor. So thank you so much. And thank you for everyone that is coming to join us today, because it will be very deep. And we have, like she said, we have a lot of divine forces with us today, a lot of pure light beings that are surrounding us. And whenever you're ready, I will set an intention first. I will call all of them in. They're already here, but they like to be invited. And so, whenever you're ready.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, they're ready. So let me just okay. I invite my divine teams, spirit guides, angels, archangels, higher self, and source to come in this present moment. I invite your divine team, spirit guides, angels, higher self, everybody else's spirit guide team and divine team, angels, and all the pure light beings that want to be with us here today to really add their own essence to this mission, to come experience this with us, to allow us to spread our lights together through them. And I'm going to especially invite Source to bless us with your presence, because what you are is something undescribable, and everybody is, I'm going to set this intention. I set the intention for everybody to come together and to feel you through pure love and devotion today with us. I want everybody to feel your immense, deep love, radiance, joy, innocence, purity, childlike wonder. I feel Source is a lot like childlike wonder and curiosity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is.
Wow, it's so beautiful, this connection.
Yeah, all the energies are coming in. I'm feeling a lot of energy.
Mm.
And before I actually start the meditation, I'm going to say something to the audience also, just for them to kickstart this feeling process of Source. So I'm going to ask you to just tap into, so we're going to just open our hearts. Everybody open, and it's already open. We're just going to go deeper into our hearts. And I want you to come from pure authenticity, pure essence today, whatever that might look like for you, whatever that shows up to you as. You might not know your essence still, you might be still discovering it, and that's okay. I'm always rediscovering the depth of my essence. It's never ending. It's a journey into Source, really. The essence that we have, the essence that we are, is a personal, unique journey of self-actualization. So however that kickstarts the journey for you, however you start to feel Source, and really get a sense of the purity, the love, the intimacy that we have with Source at all moments of life. It's always available, it's always there, whether you put your consciousness on it or not. So the first thing I'm going to really ask you to do is just come into your heart, feel into your essence, and open up the space for Source to come into your life, into your heart. Because that's what Source wants to do. It's already there. It's always doing that. And now you actively, consciously get to feel that all the time as you do that. And the first message that comes through Source right now for everybody is how much Source loves you. And it's always the first thing that I hear every time I do an experience like this. It's so profound, more than what the words are, because it's a frequency, it's a feeling. So I just want you to feel, open your heart and feel into that love that Source is pouring down onto you. It's the truest form of love. It's so magnificent, it's so exquisite, it's so radiant and unconditional. And no matter who you are or where you are in the world or what you do or how far you are on your spiritual journey, or how far you're not on your spiritual journey, it doesn't matter to Source. It's pure love. It's pure love. And you'll start to feel this energy of what Source is. It'll come, and for me, it's coming as a loving intelligence that comes in every part of my being. It's always surrounding me. It's everywhere in everything, and it's all working for my highest good all the time. And this is the basis of a new relationship with life, of a new relationship with yourself, with everything that you encounter, every situation, every circumstance, every person that you meet. This is the basis of a new relationship. And as you start to open into this energy, into this space of source, the first thing that also comes through again is trust. I can fall back into source. I can just let go. I can surrender everything to source, because I know source is working for my highest good through unconditional pure love at all times. And as I fall back, and I'm actually visualizing myself falling back, and you can do that too, as I actually fall back into source, I actually get to experience what it means to be held up by source. You cannot experience it until you actually fall back into source, until you actually let go and trust, because it's a co-creation. Trust is a co-creation. Everything is a co-creation between you and source. So when you fall back, you can be fully supported and held more than ever, because you've chosen to fall back. You've chosen to experience what it means to be trusted and trust. And I'm seeing source as this beautiful, I like to, this is again my childlike joy coming through, that's from my essence, but source being this beautiful, sparkling white, like fairy dust kind of light. I don't know how to describe it, but I think you'll get the visual. As we're doing this together, you'll get the visual for yourself of what source appears to you, what is this energy, how you can really get intimate and become one with this energy. For me, it's showing up as this little, my little girl, my inner child is here, and she's directly so connected with this energy. She's just, it's surrounding her all over. And it's a beautiful connection of love. And now I'm getting the image of her going on this beautiful adventure with this energy. So it might be different for your inner child. You can get to just experience how it comes to you. There's no right or wrong. But for me, it's you're going on an adventure with this source energy, and it's taking me to the self-actualization of my dreams, of who I am, my potential, my essence being actualized into the highest form for pure service, for the world, for my dreams to come true. And all the dreams that I'm experiencing through the heart desires, the heart dreams that I've had all along, even before I started this journey. So you'll notice as you're on this journey, you're taking one step, you're holding, source is holding your finger, one step every step of the way. And I'm seeing that image. The child goes with source energy, and it's creating through source because of this connection, because of the finger holding, because it's always supported by this energy. And so if you let the inner child go and completely create through her own imagination, through that source energy, it starts to come alive. It starts to be self-actualized into all the dreams that you have for your life, into everything that you truly desire, into all the abundance through source, all the relationships that are aligned with your essence, all the health and wellness that you get to experience through this source connection. Because true health and wellness really come in when you are in connection with yourself, with life, you're intimate with yourself, you know yourself so deeply, you love yourself. And that's really the beginning of that journey of holding the hand to self-actualize and experience what it means to live your highest potential through your essence. And there's an image now coming up as we're doing this of all the different aspects of source. So yes, source being this encompassing, beautiful, I don't even have words for this, but beautiful energy, loving intelligence, light, whatever you call it, but something so beyond what we can comprehend through the mind. And then different parts of that revealing themselves to us. So one aspect, of course, being Archangel Michael and his team, he has this big team that I see all the time now. I'm so connected with him. We're like lovers. So he's coming in, and I'm seeing how beautiful everything works in the heavens, in the higher dimensions, in the upper realms. Everybody has, every little and big being, every being of light has its own essence, its own purpose, and it's all an orchestration of source. Everything has its own beautiful creation and purpose and manifestation. And then we all come together. Even on earth, we have this. The more true you stay to the essence, the more you can be part of that unraveling of the bigger orchestration. You're already part of that no matter what, even if you choose not to follow your essence and purpose. But if you choose to follow it, you will be revealed the mysteries of life. You will be revealed the mysteries of source through your heart. Because it all leads back into source anyway. So as you're on that journey of discovering your essence, discovering who you are, really getting to know more about your own heart, your own gift that you are here to radiate for the world. As you start to do that, it comes into this beautiful, magnificent opening, kind of like a gateway. I'm seeing a door. It opens into a gateway of the unseen. You get to experience everything as you do that. Everything starts to unveil and unravel for you because you're choosing to listen into that heart, into the essence, to go so deeply in connection with yourself, with source, with that pure essence of you. And again, no matter where you are on your path, it doesn't matter. You have equal access to that essence. You have equal access to source. Every single being has equal access because we're all part of the same. So I invite you now, this is truly the beginning. I invite you now to open that door into source. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What are you getting? What is being received through your heart, through your essence? So we become completely naked. I let go of everything that I've known, and I come into the unknown. I come into the unseen. I open my heart, I open the door, and I fall into source. And I'm going to have tears coming in soon because every time I step 1 inch forward into source, it steps 1,000 towards me. And it's the same for you. Every time you step 1 inch towards source, your essence, your truth, the source is truth. As you step 1 step closer, it's aware, the universe is aware that you're taking 1 step. And it takes 1,000 towards you. And so I'm getting the image, all the forces are coming together now, surrounding us with so much love, beauty, radiance, support. Especially if you're going through an obstacle or challenge in your life, this is the time to ask, to give it up to them, because they're here, they're coming in fully to support you, opening that door to source. Everything is coming, the whole universe is orchestrating right now in this moment for you to open that door, break down the wall, break down everything, and go step in completely naked, completely raw, like never before, completely vulnerable, out of truth, out of essence. And you'll start to get one glimpse of what you are, what your essence is. The first glimpse of source within yourself, within your life. And as we start to do that, it takes you by the hand. It's actually, I'm getting the image of it taking you by the hand. You are so, I don't know the word. Let me see what the word is. Source is so eager, excited to connect with you in this way. It's a lot of energy. It's so beautiful the way that it's, when you open that door, it comes in as this burst. This burst of light, love. And everything you can possibly imagine into one thing, to oneness. And this is the time to really get to know what does your essence look like? What does it feel like? What color is it? Where does it want to take you? What is it showing you? Where is it leading you? This beautiful essence within you, this light. And as you start to experience this essence within you, and you start to go on this journey, taking the first step with your essence, getting to know it, becoming intimate with this beautiful light of yours, it starts to lead you back into the oneness. I see all of our essences coming together. Now there's a beautiful merging that will take place as we're all coming together. You're following the essence. And that's taking you into pure love and source. And so we all bring it together. We bring our essences all together. I'm sensing a beautiful interconnected web of everybody that's here, everybody that will listen to this in the future, everybody coming together through our hearts. We're interconnected through our essence. And the angels want you to feel into the purity and innocence of them, how they come to beautifully just support you, take care of you in all different ways and all different situations that you're not even aware of at times. They're so beautiful. They're actually, the images, they're like children. All of the divine forces are so pure, so innocent, like children. Whether it's ladybugs or puppies or angels or the fairies or source itself, it's just so pure, childlike. There's an innocence. And when you reclaim that essence, you reclaim that innocence within you. There's an innocence in everything. And as we're merging together, you start to feel into their purity, their innocence, all of us together. Now I'm getting an image of all the inner children hugging each other. We're all hugging each other in that innocence of everything that sources, all the parts of creation are. That beautiful innocence of this childlike joy, curiosity, wonder. And of course, the dolphins and whales are also here. So they want me to acknowledge that. So they're here, they're all coming together, all the different species of higher consciousness, every single part, the trees, everything coming together. We all come back all together in that oneness. And I'm seeing that beautiful source energy at the center of all of that. The pure essence of source at the center, the foundation of all of the innocence of all parts of creation, of their purity, of their light, all of them coming together. And they're telling me they're always laughing, they're always in joy. And they want us to feel that. They want us to feel what it's like to have heaven all around you all the time. Because it's here. They're always with you. It's here. So as you start to feel into your essence, you start to feel into that heaven that surrounds us. Because your essence is part of that heaven. And your essence is the key. It's the gateway into the heaven on earth. So as you connect, you ground into this essence, you come fully embodied into this essence of who you are. You unapologetically come out of everything that's not your essence. You take that step, you say, I'm going to show up as my essence. I'm going to show up as my essence all the time from now on. I'm going to really nourish my essence. I'm going to acknowledge my essence. I'm going to self-actualize my essence. And I bring that forth into everything I do, with everyone that I meet, in every moment of my life. Even if it's just the tip of your essence, if you just you set the intention to infuse that everywhere you go, in everything that you do, just the tip, even the iceberg of your essence, it changes everything radically, because now you're starting a new journey from truth within yourself, truth within source, all coming together as one. And from that point, source is showing me, from that point, as you take that first step towards the essence and infusing it in everything, in every one that you meet and every place that you go, from that point, source can take over and help you further along that process of manifesting the essence into form. Because now you're showing up consciously for your part in the co-creation. And as source takes over and you manifest that essence into form through source, everything starts to become a miracle. All possibilities that you didn't think were possible start to become possible. You start to access a different dimension of living, of being. And so now my son wants to come forth through this in spirit. And he's an emanation of pure love. And he's sending that all across this web through source. It's radiating out. Along with that innocence and purity, you have the pure love, which is the foundation of everything, the foundation of source, the foundation of creation. That purity and innocence arises from a deep love, from a deep sacred love, the love of being, the love of just existing and getting to experience whatever there is to experience, that type of love. And a lot of you might receive that image of him. He's coming through, and you'll see and you'll feel it for yourself. And even if you don't, you will still receive that. But it's so beautiful. He's coming along with all the forces to allow you to experience what it means, what it actually means to be loved by all of creation, by source, and to be that love yourself. That's what you are, to be that love, to get to radiate that and to experience that. And as that is going on, we are now coming to, and there's a new thing they're showing. So we're all coming together, and we're going to send through our essence, through our pure hearts, and through our love. We're going to send it up all into source, because this is something that I've done more recently now. I give back to source. For me, it's so essential to give back, because it's so joyful to be a part of this creation, to be a part of that source. And I want to serve, I want to give back in any way that I can. So I give back. We're all sending all of our energies and our beautiful lights, and we're radiating it up into source. And we're going to thank them. We're thanking all parts of creation, our dolphins, our whales, our angels, our archangels, all parts of creation, whatever you believe in, whatever you feel intimate with. We're sending all parts of creation this beautiful, humbling honor and gratitude for being what they are, for source being what source is. And we're all coming together even more connected than before, because as we do this, you're shifting the entire, I'm getting a clear image. We're shifting the entire world by doing that, by the whole universe, the whole cosmos. We're sending it up. We're magnetizing, we're radiating this light, and we're helping, not just helping, we're creating the heaven on earth through this. As we're connecting up into, we're going to bring it down to, but as we're connecting up, giving our gratitude and our joy for being alive and being a part of this creation, a part of As we're sending it up into source, we're feeling how deeply connected, interconnected, and loved we are when supported we are by the entire force, all the divine forces. And taking a moment to really feel how happy, and I'm feeling there's just so much joy as we do this. They're so happy, they're so in love and enjoy to receive this from us. And getting an image that sources really it does this a lot. It's gifting us a flower, like especially the image that I'm getting, it's a flower. So it's gifting you this beautiful token of its innocence, of its beauty and love. And there's like it's a marriage that's happening. It's really we're merging with source. We're merging with that purity, that innocence of source through our hearts. And as we do that, the next step that's coming to me, the next bit that has to be revealed is that as you start to really marry into this source, into this creation, this beautiful love, light, loving intelligence that it is, it starts to show you the next step for you. And this is going to be individual for every single person. So it will give you, as you're getting intimate with this beautiful source energy that it is, it gives you the next step. It whispers to you, it's like a whisper. It whispers to you the next step to move in the direction of actualizing your essence, to move in the direction of bringing your essence out into the world. It gives you that next step. And as you say yes to taking that next step, as you start to say yes to that, if you can truly receive it and say yes to that, it actually starts to show you and that it's always carving the path out for you, with you. So all you have to do is say yes to taking that step, to actualizing that essence, to manifesting that essence in the world. And as you start to say yes to that, it starts to show you through light. It's shining light on your path ahead. It doesn't mean it'll show you the whole road, because it's impossible to know what it will lead to. Only Source can really know what the full actualization of your essence can and will be. But it starts to shine light on this beautiful journey, the beautiful creation of your life, the sculpting of your life into something magnificent through Source. So you become the artist with Source. And both you and Source are needed for this co-creation, for this painting to be sculpted and finished and radiated out in the world. Your life is your piece of art, and this is the way. Through Source, you get to sculpt it. You get to feel into what is possible, what your dreams are really here to tell you, what the way into your heart, into your essence is through Source. So it starts to show you the light. Now, through everything that you received and everything that you will be receiving, let's bring it all down and anchored into ourselves. We embody this light, we embody this essence of ours. We bring it down, we anchor it within ourselves into our humanness, and we integrate all parts of us together so that we can live from that essence, and all parts of us can be aligned with that essence. So we're anchoring this beautiful, precious essence that we have. This is your treasure. And Source is really telling you you're so beautiful, you're so loved, and each and every single one of you that is here, that is listening, is so deeply received and loved. And everybody is in general, but even more so at this moment as we're doing this. You're so deeply received by all of creation. You're so accepted for who you are, for your essence. You're so loved, you're so celebrated in the heavens. And Source loves you just for who you are, just your unique raw essence. And however that shows up in your human life. however you are in your human life. This essence is your power, it's your strength, and this is what really leads you into this intimate connection with life, with source, because everything has that essence. So when you start to feel your own essence, you start to feel into the essence of everything and everyone. And now as we're grounding down into the earth, sharing our essence also with the earth, that's how we're going to manifest it into the earth. As we're sharing this beautiful essence and feeling into the essence of Gaia, our beautiful Mother Earth, all of our essences come together through our hearts and they make up source, they make up the creation. And that's how I want to close this. As you receive that visual, as you receive all of us coming together in oneness through our essence as a part of that source. And know that you can connect to your source and your essence anytime, at any moment. And the purity and the liveness and the innocence will always be there for you to experience. The pure love, the pure bliss, the pure joy of being alive will always be there, is always there within you for you to experience at any moment. And this essence is truly the treasure, as Adrienn says. So when you're ready, you can gently come back. We thank Source. We thank all our divine forces. Thank you so much. Thank you to all of creation. Thank you to Adrienn. Thank you to me. And thank you to everybody listening and being part of this, for going deep within your essence through Source, for true connection. And I'm going to bless each and every single one of you. I declare to Source for you to find your own path through your own self-actualization, through your own essence. And may you completely open yourself up to Source through your heart every single moment. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is.
Wow, Malika.
That was really deep. I had a little bit of tears.
It was amazing.
Whoa, I'm sorry, sorry everybody that it fell down, but it's okay. I'm okay. So I think it was I was getting really excited.
It was an amazing transmission. It even moved things in me, so it was incredible.
Yeah, I felt brought a lot of things up for me as I did that. I'm so excited for everybody that will listen also in the future. This was so deep. I could feel how deep. It's just so my heart is like on fire. Yeah. So I'm so happy that we could do that. Thank you, Adrienn. Wow,
it's amazing gift what you give us today. So I'm feeling so honored and so happy.
Yeah, I did it in a different way. Every time is a different way, you know. Every time it's never the same, and this was so different than anything I've done before. What they showed me today, how we did it today, just to feel the innocence and purity of creation, you know, because that piece we forget, right? We forget as human beings that there's an underlying piece that's so pure, that's so innocent, and it's actually the truth. It's the reality. And when you access that, it changes everything. Because now that I'm accessing it more and more, it starts to fill me up with that. And I am starting to experience a different life through that. You know, when you touch into that innocence, like a child, just so beautiful. It opens a door into a different dimension of source. And you start to experience the wonder, the magic, the miracle of source through that innocence. It's never ending. It's the purity, the bliss, the magic of that is never ending. You can only keep going deeper and deeper. And so that's what I wanted people to experience. I think they did. Hopefully they did. as they opened the door into that magical place, that wonder of source. And of course we bring it back down. But the first step is just to open yourself to it, see what comes through, what source wants to tell you, what source wants you to experience. And then you bring it, and you bring it into yourself, and you bring it into your humanness. I call it humanness. You bring it into your humanness, and you radiate that out into your own way through your human self. You know, you have your own way, and that's where your treasure is too. You have your own way of translating that innocence and purity, that essence, through your human self. That's unique completely to you, that nobody else can do like you, you know? So this itself is a transmission. But for me, it's like, and I said this in my summit with Dr. Catherine, the first thing that I did after I did some things where I was realigning with higher self, the first thing I did, the moment I stepped out, I went to play with ladybugs. And I knew I was now I'm realigned with my higher self, because it was the purity, the innocence of me just going out and playing with ladybugs. And I had never done that in many years. I had forgotten to do that. I used to love doing that as a child. So reclaiming your childish curiosity and playfulness, and that is source in itself.
Yes, it's so good that you mentioned that our inner child, it's so important, and this is the gate to take us back to source connection and to our heart connection, heart frequency, and it's always there with you. And yes, it's like a reminder or a channel which is always here. And when you tune into your inner child, it leads you to your trueness and to this essence what you were speaking. So yes, it's always so important. And it's not a one-time work. It's not something that once you work with your inner child and you think that, okay, then that's it, I equilibrate again everything, and there are no more things. Now it's always new things there. So it's like a dig in, and it's never ending. So it's so important always consciously connect to this essence and call it in the pure essence, because lots of time we have that much layers on our inner child or in front of our inner child that we cannot access to the pure essence, to it, to her or him. And yeah, you have to work on and open this channel more and more with the time. Yes, and
yep, it's just open and set the intention, and you'll be surprised of how you start to feel into it. Yeah. It's it can be just a moment. It can be overnight. That for me it was, but it just is. It's your intention, your consciousness on doing that, and you're putting the consciousness on that, and it opens the new dimension. It's very unique to you. Nobody can teach you how to do this. I can lead people, and we do that, but it's ultimately themselves that have to go within and experience it for themselves through their own heart, through their own uniqueness. And so that is and it's so beautiful when you do that, but it's not so difficult. It's just How far are you willing to jump into source? How deep are you willing to jump into source?
And even the kids, they have their inner child, and they can connect to this pure essence, because there can be a difference how they behave day by day as a child, and how feels this essence, this pure innocent essence inside.
Because the inner child is part of that pure God essence within you.
Exactly. Yes.
So it is. That's why it's a gateway for you. To really feel.
Wow. So beautiful. I wanted to ask you, could you share with us your story here on Earth, or even before, how you arrived here where you are, to this consciousness, and
it's so interesting. So I actually massively changed my perception of the story. I already had a pretty good, highly aligned perspective on the story. And recently, as I'm experiencing more through source, it gave me an added dimension to the story, because everything starts to shift in your life when you are willing to go deeper and deeper into this experience. And so today this is a perfect moment to share this new perspective, because I did share it in the summit and I touched a lot of people. I had a lot of messages. So it was, and I'm so grateful. And I know, Adrienn, you heard that and you said, oh, thank you for sending me what you sent. It was so beautiful, because it was the first time I ever actually told a story, because I hadn't ever told a story. And it took a lot of courage to do that. But I was guided. I felt like, no, it's time to share the story. And as I did that, then there was another opening. And so source gave me an even higher perspective. And so this is perfect timing. The story really now, if I tell the story to go even deeper into source and how this played out, this co-creation, my life being a co-creation with source, as every life is, how this played out was really, I came in with the core wound of rejection, which I chose, the soul chose. So I was rejected by my mom. I was rejected also by my father's side. So there was a lot of rejection. And in the end, I ended up, my mom left me, and my dad also, I didn't really know them. And I grew up with my grandparents the first 7 years of my life, my mom's parents, because my mom had left. And I was so connected with them. They were like parents, and we were so connected. And there came a moment where I had to change families, and I didn't see them ever again. I didn't see my mom. I didn't see my grandparents ever again, the ones I grew up with. And so I changed families at, I think, 6.5, and not seeing them again. My soul, the source perspective really was, my soul chose this, chose to experience this. And I say this with so much, there's a lot of consciousness now put on this. So I'm saying this with higher consciousness and pure love, that I chose this for myself to really experience and come, because my journey, I'm seeing in meditation, I'm seeing this journey of me self-actualizing. And I started really when I went deep into the pain of the rejection. I know there was a moment that the light switched on, and I entered deep into that. I was starting to feel more and more of that. And primordial, what I teach and practice is primordial sound meditation, which is really you're vibrating your essence. You're how do I say this in a way that, because it's so special to me, I don't know how to describe it anymore. You know what I mean? It's something that source gifted me that I won't even know how to do justice to what this is, but I do my best. And it's one of my purposes. It's not my only purpose, but it was the root, the foundation of me self-actualizing and also going deeper into this journey with source. So it was given to me as I decided I'm going to really face this rejection. I'm going to face, because what happened was I changed families. I changed to my dad's side. I didn't know them, but he was aggressive. So I left home very young, did not connect with my dad. I left home quite young. And I started my own journey. I started traveling. I traveled 16 countries. And I was really searching for source, actually. When you really look back, I was searching for some meaning, right? I didn't know. I was like, there are too many things that have happened in my life. I'm not sure what my purpose is. Why did they happen? There had to be a higher meaning of why I lost my grandparents, why I had to, why my mom left, had to be a higher meaning, right? And so I had to search. I studied different traditions. I traveled. I lived like a hippie. I did so many things. I'm so happy that I did. And then finally, there was a moment that I kind of fell to the ground, and I just had a breakdown. It was the moment I went back to meet my mother for the first time ever since she had left when I was a kid. And I had but the universe was saying, you have to go meet your mother. And I was like, I don't want to do that because I was scared. But then I said yes, because it was a calling. I was very intuitive from a young age. And so I listened to that calling. I went back, I went to meet her and her kids and her husband. And the whole rejection happened again. So at first we connected, and it was like, I fell in love with her again. And then the whole thing happened again. And we had to separate. I had to go my own way. She had to go her own way. And that was the moment when I just kind of fell to the floor. I had a breakdown, and it was, I just said, I can't live the same way anymore after that experience, because it was so painful. So I just fell. I actually just cried and cried, and I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. And so source, that was the moment that source, it was like stepping up. And it was me also I surrendered at the time that it all came together in one moment. It was like divine time, divine destiny. So it came, and that was my first experience of that energy, of the first intimacy of what it means to be held, because I was completely alone. I didn't have any relationships at that time. I didn't have friends or family. I was a traveler, didn't have so much money, didn't know where to go. I was kind of on my own, didn't have a home. And so that was the moment source came and started leading the way. That from that point onwards, I was guided and source, and I have never not done what I'm guided to do now. If there's a calling, I will do, because I've learned my lessons. And now I have pure love for, I have this pure, deep connection, pure love, which is the foundation. So from that moment on, I never went back. I never looked back, because I found something, there was a greater pull towards this versus the past. So that's how, and then Primordial Sound, it guided me to Primordial Sound, which is a path to really merge back into source, to have that added dimension of source into your human life, to self-actualize. So that started happening, and that changed my life. And as I started Primordial Sound, everything shifted. My consciousness was shifting. Everything started shifting. And I started having different experience of source in my life, not in meditation, in actual life, in the experience with creation, with the actual physical life, the physical real. And so that led, they're also saying, of course, I had the spiritual experiences, but also in the physical reality. So that happening, it's almost, they're showing me there's a pulling to a greater mission, a greater service to humanity through this, because what it's kind of like a flower blossoming through the mud, went through the mud, went through all that suffering, and then came out like a diamond because of being true to myself, true to source, true to the essence. And that was, of course I give credit to source, but then source says give credit to yourself too, because you could have chosen not to listen in that moment. You could have just not gone that route. So it's a co-creation, and that pull it's going to be something beautiful. That's what they say. This life that I've led, it's leading to something so beautiful, to be of service for many, many people, to reconnect them to their essence, to source within, so that they can have their own experience, their own relationship, their own intimacy with life. That's my story.
Wow. Yes, it's everything is for a reason, and as here we are living a duality. Every dark has their light, and when you tap into the very deep dark essence or suffer, then there is another part, the same quantity of light. And lots of time when there's a breaking point in your life, when lots of bad things happening, and you just
Yeah, it was
surrender.
my rebirth. That was a
Yeah,
rebirth. Mm-hmm.
then magic happened, and there entered this light. So until
Yeah.
you grab to the suffer and the pain, you are still maintaining to this connection. But at the point when you surrender and let everything enters, then automatically the dark starts to take the light, and they unite, and then this is what you experience happen.
Yeah, and now it's so beautiful because don't I don't even see it as the dark anymore. It's like it all came to serve who I became, you know? It came to serve my mission. So I've gotten to this, which I'm so grateful that I've gotten this stage where I don't feel the pain anymore of the I don't feel that with it's alchemized into source. It's and that's the alchemy that happens as you start to follow your essence. You start to discover yourself more, you start to uh just play with life, get intimate with life. But I play with my dolphins and whales that are part of my Tibet. We have play dates. and I play with Archangel Michael, like whatever, he comes every day. Whatever, this intimacy with life, the bliss is so much greater than anything that you could experience on the dark side. You know what I mean? It alchemizes everything else. So if you get to that level, it's totally possible to get to that level because I've done it. And it didn't take so, if you have a sincere intention to face that rejection, face the pain, go inside it, ask source for help, ask source to come inside it. That's how you alchemize it. That's how you actually, it's a sincerity of your heart. It doesn't matter how you do it, how you ask source. It's a sincerity of your heart, your intention. You ask source to come in, and source will happily come into that wound. It loves to transmute the pain into heavenly bliss and joy. And so I know it's possible for all types of suffering. That's what source has said. It's possible no matter how big the suffering, because this was a massive suffering, because I loved my mom. This was massive. So that no matter how deep the pain is, how much you've suffered in your life, in your past lives, the first invitation is always invite source into that space, because source knows how to heal that. Source is the healing, right? Source is the basis of that healing. And that's true healing versus anything else.
Exactly, because what you did connected the two sides together, and then what you are living and experiencing is just oneness, and you don't have like separated anymore. And what you are experiencing, this blissful state always. But actually, when someone feels darkness and yes, experience these traumas through life, it's just an experience of a disconnection, and you are just
Exactly, right.
missing something. Well,
Yes.
at the moment when you open this connection and you
Yes.
connect, then all these things disappear, and then there
It
is
does. It
no.
neutralizes.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so and I want people to experience it. It's totally because I know a lot of people think it'll take a long time, and it doesn't. If you show up fully, source will show up. It's a co-creation.
It's in everybody.
Yes.
It's not something that you are special and other is
No,
not, and you are lucky
no.
and other
It's
not.
just that it's just
We
the
are all.
actualizing of it, right, in
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah. So it is so, and this is really good that you asked, because I know there are a lot of people suffering in the world right now, and they ask. I have a lot of questions about this, and the answer source always gives is get into that space where you can just open your heart, invite source, and then from that space see what happens. From that space, what does it actually feel like? How does your life start to come alive after that, you know? It's a whole different experience of everything. As you go in that wound so deeply, you enter that pain, you say yes, and you have the courage to fully see it for what it is, to really show up and embody that within yourself and say, yes, I went through that. I'm going to accept that pain. I'm going to accept the wound, and then I'm going to allow it to become what it needs to. And that's how the flower blossoms. When you just allow the pain will kind of show you what it wants to become. For me, it was the service for humanity. The pain transformed into my mission, into my purpose for people. And that's what's happening. This is the beginning of that. And so it will tell you, the pain will tell you what it wants to be transformed as, where it wants to take you, because that's also a journey. That's the same journey actually as the source journey. They're very similar.
Yes, you are a bridge in this, and working as a bridge.
Yes.
And it's so important to not hold. Instead of hold, surrender and expand. And then this is how you can open more and more and feel the innocence of you. Don't want to hold the ego part of you and your belief system. You have to throw away all the belief system and all the things what you have learned in life to can feel this pure essence. Other thing
Go ahead.
Other thing what I wanted to ask from you, what I experience, and yes, I wanted to ask you how you experience this. For me, sometimes it's difficult, once I tapped into this oneness and to this source essence, there all the layers, all the labels disappears, and there is just everything is one. And since I'm tapped into this connection, I always connect to there, and I'm always working from there. And it's somehow I need to force myself if I want to enter to other dimensions, other realities, and see what's there in there. And at your work, I hear and I know, feel that you have this source connection. And apart that sometimes you are mentioning dolphins and whales and angels, and I know that they are, and I feel their energies also. But when I go beyond, these parts are just disappears for me. And I just wanted to ask you how you handle all these different energies, frequencies. Do you know what I mean?
So really the space beyond is the unmanifest, kind of like the womb of creation, if that makes sense, right? That feels like this kind of this spaciousness where that pure potentiality, right, of source is. So when I'm really tapping, and this is something that Primordial Sound Meditation helped with, that because it was reintegrating those frequencies with the 3D. So the cool thing was that I could be there and be here. I could be ascended and grounded in those frequencies together through Primordial Sound. But the real, if you're asking from that perspective, if I'm tuned into the space beyond, the womb of creation, and here, yes, you're right, there, it doesn't feel like any labels, nothing, right? There's nothing. It's pure. It's so beautiful. It's like you're entering this just beautiful space where everything is possible. You're just creating from this space. And so when you're entering that space, it's more just like, it's pure. The word that comes up is, that's only pure essence then, if that makes sense. It's only pure frequency, pure essence. There's nothing I can't even describe it in any other way, I can't describe it. It's like pure essence, pure frequency at the core root of everything. So of course the dolphin, whales, we're all here. They're all part of it. It's all stemming from that, as we are too. But that core, right? And you can call it the source of all sources. That core, as you're tapped into that, I'm just going to ask Source what Source wants to say about that. Over time, those frequencies, that essence, that pure essence starts to come in. The way to really integrate it, and this was something that I recently did in my own life, really the key, and there are different ways, right? I started yoga. I was integrating through yoga, and the yoga that I did was specifically for that, to really ground and embody with those frequencies. So if you don't like yoga or you don't want to try yoga, there are different ways. What Source is saying is you pick something that you love on the earth plane, something that you truly love on the earth plane, and something that grounds you here. Like it could be cooking, painting, whatever you love on the earth plane. And you bring in those it's like there's a marriage that happens when you bring in that to the earth realm through any activities that you do on the earth land. You bring it together and you start to feel the integration within you. So this is an interesting answer. This is the first time I sort of said that, but I've been doing it through yoga, and I also do it, for me, I think it's mostly, I love the yoga that I'm doing, and it's something I fell in love with as I was integrating both aspects. Yeah, for me, it was that really integrated both aspects.
Yeah, I meanwhile I received also the answer, and to ask from you in another
tapped
kind of
into
way.
Those frequencies. So for me, it was also the other thing they're saying is the self-awareness of bringing those frequencies down into every moment as whatever you're doing in your life. So that can be also played out in moment to moment life. So everywhere that I go, this is something that I've been doing since my summit, was everywhere that I go and everything that I do. Of course, there are times of the day when I'm completely focused on doing earthly stuff, right? Like the business stuff, this stuff. I do integrate those energies now into that, right? When I'm in the productive space and I have to do things mechanically or logically, I bring in those frequencies and I set the intention that all of my work that I'm doing and all of the things I have to do on this realm be infused with the essence of that. So it comes together, it comes in oneness, if that makes sense. Then I'm being whole and integrated in each activity that I'm doing, because I'm there and here at the same time. It's a marriage. And so this is something I recently learned, because before I didn't know how to be ascended and grounded at the same time. And now it's the only way to live. Because if you're missing one, life is not as much fun. You can do that. It's not the same as if you marry them together. You marry the frequencies of what you're doing, and I bring it into my business. Even when I have the talks with my assistant, I bring in those frequencies. She gets the inspiration for what she wants to create, for she creates the graphics. Everything, the foundation is coming from those frequencies. So it's learning to marry them together, and it can be different for different people. But this is my way. I bring it into my earthly stuff. I set the intention. I actually bring those frequencies as the foundation of everything that I'm doing in this realm, because the intention is the pure love of source. Everything that I do, everything that I am. So this is so integral. If you want to bring it together, and if you want to be in oneness, in alignment, set the intention, bring those frequencies together, and you'll feel that come in. That's all. It's very simple. Source is quite simple.
Yeah, this is just amazing what you mentioned. For me, it came to me my question in another way, that if you have the capacity to see and use all the range of colors, why you choose one color to connect or to work with. And then yes, you answer to it also. And then I received also that it's all part of source, and it's so important to connect with the different through the different colors and see the beautiness of all, and all this together puts the whole. And
yeah, it's an exploration in different dimensions and different beings, and it'll show you different it's of the same essence but a different perspective of the same essence, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And this is the key also, to can grant your essence and this frequency in all aspects, and more you can do it, more expanded you will be, and more light you will experience. And yes, this is the thing also, through the earthly stuff, what lots of people think that it's just bullshit or just dirty, or it's just why we are doing this, it's just bad.
Oh no, it's so important to be in the earthly stuff. We couldn't be of service without this earthly stuff.
Exactly, it's all light, so it's also part of the light. It's also
source
part
loves
of the
earth.
source. Exactly, and it's so important that when you are doing so earthy stuff, go there and take your light there and expand your light there.
And you work from devotion in that area too. It's the same as if I wasn't it's as important as meditation. One is not higher than the other. That's what Source explained. It's the same. It's the devotion that you do, the practice, whether it's meditation or the earthly stuff, that matters. It's the intention, the devotion that which you do the practice. You could be doing anything. It's the devotion, intention behind it that determines the outcome. So it's so beautiful that everything is equal. The earthly plane and the higher, they have got their own beautiful gifts and talent. Like they're very different yet very similar, and both are integrated in they're all connected, right? So each one of them is equally important because of that interconnection. All of the planets, everything together. Each planet is very important to the entire galactic system, the entire solar system. Without even, if one planet was to not be able to be there anymore, it would affect the whole cosmos, So the earthly stuff is very important to honor the earth, and honor your existence here, and not to also forget the higher frequency of source and bring it together, because both are equal. Earth connection, source connection are equal. Yeah.
Exactly. This is how you can feel and experience the flow of your light, of your essence. And each corner, every little piece it's so important.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why the dark also is equally important in the light, in the story. The dark was equally important. If I didn't have the dark, if I didn't have the rejection, I wouldn't be just trying to discover source, because I would be maybe in a different space. I would be in a different journey, different exploration. I wouldn't be actively trying to discover my essence, my source within me, if I didn't go through all that. So it was the, it's like two sides of the same thing.
Yes. Wow. It was a very unique and very beautiful connection, and the information what came through is just wow. I wanted to ask you how do you assist people through their spiritual journey? Do you have sessions or what you are offering?
Oh wait, you cut out for a minute. Can you repeat that?
I wanted to ask you that do you assist people in their spiritual journey, or do you offer sessions or anything? What?
Yeah, thank you for asking that. Yes, I do. So I teach Primordial Sound Meditation. So if you want, again, that would take a long time to explore what that is, and very deeply, but essentially it's a path back into source, if I have to say it in one sentence. So if it calls to you, then you can obviously book a free call and see, we can explore that. But that, again, that was the first thing I ever started with. That was my foundation. It grew to more things as my flower was blossoming. I have a 90-day program which is transformation through source. And we actually actively go within the essence of who you are and create really actualize the relationship with source and bring it into form. You're manifesting your purpose, your highest purpose, into form in the 3D through that. So that's a whole program. That's 90 days. Besides that, I do the intuitive channeling, like from my guidance and from source, and I use that to coach. And whatever comes through is really for coaching in different ways. It could be spiritual coaching, but a lot of times, a lot of my clients just want the life coaching through that guidance. So yes, spiritual coaching, life coaching, it could be different. It depends on what people need, right? So sometimes it's more just to get connected with themselves, or a lot of times it's to change from the corporate career to now being in a different space where they can create their own life through their own essence, and start maybe a new business or do something else. So whatever comes through is unique for every person, and we help achieve those goals through that intuitive channeling coaching. But yeah, those are the 3 things that I do right now. So the transformation through source, which is the whole program, and then the intuitive channeling coaching for specific things, and then primordial sound. And a lot of times I bring them all together. So a lot of times people do all of them or 2 of them together. So yeah, so that's what I do. I want to say thank you for I also they want to mention, my guides want to mention, I do the summits. jumping into source bliss, which is the second one, is coming out soon. I will announce the dates on July 10th. So they can get in touch with me. I think you'll put the contact. They can get in touch with me if they're curious to know. This is a free summit on direct source connection. So we have speakers, we come together in source, and you get different perspectives, different experiences from each speaker. And Adrienn was on it, and it was beautiful to have that experience with her. So it's something I don't want to, again, I cannot share how deep this goes with words. Something you have to experience. If you're called to it, you will know, and then just get in touch. I will add you to the list for jumping into source bliss 2. But other than that, you can just go to the website. Also, you can sign up in the mailing list, and you will also get the whole summit, the updates. So yeah, so I want to thank you for who you are. I'm just gonna do a little thing for you for my heart. So I want to thank you, Adrienn.
Thank you so much, Malika. Thank you for
and
sharing.
giving my inner child is giving you a big hug.
Yeah, me too.
We had such a blast. My guides are thanking you. Source is also thanking you, and it's like a little kiss. This is so beautiful. And I'm thanking all, and both of us together are thanking all of the audience that was here for being with us and really going deeper into your essence, because it's such beautiful work. It's not even work, it's play. It's such beautiful play that we're doing for true joy and bliss and source connection. Thank you, Adrienn, for being who you are, for radiating your light into the world. You are one of the beautiful catalysts for the new earth. And so I can feel that. I can feel that in so deeply in your essence. And that's why will continue to have the connection that we have, as we're both co-creating the new earth for people to really experience and feel into source, and to bring it down into this 3D reality. Thank you, Adrienn, for being connected and tapped in. You're always connected and tapped in, as you said. So thank you for being connected and tapped in so deeply.
Thank you, Malika, so much. What I'm feeling, it's like you are a kind of diamond, but diamond compared to you, I feel it's less valuable than you. So I cannot describe it with words, what I'm feeling and what I have you as essence. Yes, thank you so much for this incredible gift, what you shared with us, and we will continue.
Yeah, we will. And bless. I'm just blessing everybody. I'm blessing the whole space. I'm blessing you, Adrienn. So much love, so much light.
Thank you so much.